Okay, first of all, I will explain about the introduction of vehicle car loan financing based on Bank Islam. As we all know that financing concept refers to the process of acquiring a car through a loan or a lease agreement. Car financing also allows the individuals or companies to own a car by making flexible monthly payments or installments. The buyer makes monthly payments to the seller for a specific period, and at the end of the agreement, they have the option to purchase the vehicle or return them to the bank. Furthermore, a car loan is a popular option for financing a vehicle.
Okay, next is evidence. The term Al-Murabahah originates from the effort to classify various types of buying and selling in the process of Islamic banking. One of the classification used is by referring to the selling price of the goods and comparing it to the original cost of the goods. Generally, Murabahah is the sale of goods at a predetermined market price with an additional no profits. It is called a trust sales because it depends on the seller trust in the buyer information about the market price of the goods. Based on Surah Al-Baqarah verse 198, which means there is no blame upon you for seeking bounty from your Lord through business. But when you depart from Arafat, remember Allah at Al-Mashhar Al-Haram and remember Him as He has guided you, for indeed you were before that among those astray. Buy al-Murabahah is a transaction in which both parties mutually agree on the determined price. In other words, Surah An-Nisa 29 states, O you who have believed, do not consume one another wealth unjustly but only in lawful business by mutual consent. And do not kill yourself or one another. Indeed, Allah is to you ever merciful. In general, the principle and condition of sales and purchase in Murabahah are the same as the principle and condition of the sale and purchase contract in Islam. According to the scholar of the Hanafi schools, the pillars include an offer, which is ijab, and acceptance, which is kabul, that indicate the exchange of goods. In other words, the pillar of the sale contract are the words or action that indicate the willingness to exchange their own goods. According to the majority of scholars, a sale contract has 4 pillars, which is the seller, the buyer, the verbal offer and acceptance, and the last one is the contracted goods.
Next, I will explain about the pillars of Bank Islam, which is first pillar, akad. The foundation of any Murabahah transaction is the akad or contract, which serves as a legally binding agreement between the parties involved. The second pillar, the sellers. The sellers must be a legitimate of the owner, the item being sold and possess the right to the transfer of ownership. The third pillar is the buyers. The buyers in a Murabahah transaction seeks to acquire a specific item in a Sharia compliant manner. Last but not least, the pillars 4. The item sold in a Murabahah for the Bank Islam transaction can be any permissible asset or commodity ranging from tangible goods such as real estate, vehicles or machinery to intangible assets like patents or trademarks.
This is a modus operandi or chemical procedure for vehicle financing in Bank Islam. Bank Islam use Murabahah concept, which is MPO. The mechanism of MPO for financing product is as follows. First, customer approaches Bank Islam for financing and submit application. Then Bank Islam processes and approves the financing application. Bank Islam appoints the customer as its purchase agent to purchase an asset from supplier or dealer and obtains promise from the customer to purchase the asset from Bank Islam once the asset is owned by Bank Islam. Then, the customer purchases these assets from the supplier or dealer on behalf of Bank Islam. Next, Bank Islam sells the asset to customer on Murabahah basis. The asset may be pledged by the customer to Bank Islam as security or collateral. Last, customer pays Bank Islam selling price as per the agreed payment terms. Example, Ali wants to buy a product at ZIAKA but does not have enough money. Ali went to Bank Islam to take out a car financing loan of RM90,000. Then Ali made an agreement with the bank and the bank agreed to give the loan using murabahah, whereby bank get profits and Ali get the car. Bank paid cash for the petrol company and give the car to Ali. That car belonged to the bank until Ali did settle the payment. After that, Ali need to pay different payment or installment. By Bitami Aji, agree both parties.
Next is the condition of pillars. There are 5 pillars of the murabahah contract, and I will explain the pillars and its condition. First pillars is the trader or buy. Trader here refer to the bank. Trader must justify the cost of good to the buyer with specific rate, how many years, and so on. Second is the purchaser, or also known as buyer, or in Islamic we call mushtari. Purchaser must agree with the profit gained by the trader or bank to make sure the agreement is valid. Thus, purchaser also have the right to revoke the contract if the contract has false tendency. Third is good or mabe'. Good must not involve the exchange of ribawi item. Fourth is the price or tasaman. Price must be paid based on the contract of agreement. It must be in the country currency. For example, if in Malaysia we use the ringgit Malaysia as a country currency. And lastly is akad or sirah. It must be on Sharia compliance, whereby free from riba, usury and maisir. The offer and acceptance must be done at the same time. Next, Liana and Syahida will act the example of oral akad in purchasing a car. Yana will act as a banker or trader and Syahida as a buyer or purchaser.
I said this car with the amount RM60,000 for the 5 years with the financing rate 3% for monthly payment RM500. I agree.
So next, we are going to look at the application of the vehicle financing in the Bank Islam. There are 3 types of vehicle financing under Bank Islam, but today I'm going to explain only 2, which is Vehicle Financing I and Vehicle Financing I Grade 1. Both this vehicle financing is based on murabahah to the purchase order MPO. For Vehicle Financing I, it is to ease our burden while owning our dream vehicle. Meanwhile, for Vehicle Financing I Grade 1 is where customer can enjoy 100% financing at affordable rates. Firstly, the features and benefits. For margin of financing, Vehicle Financing I is up to 90% and Grade 1 is 100% of the on-the-road price for national, non-national and unregistered reconditioned models. Then, for financing tenure is up to 9 years, which is same for both. As we can see here, the financing rate also same for both vehicle financing, which is for national vehicle, it is from 2.35% to 3.30% per annum. Meanwhile, for non-national vehicle and unregistered reconditioned is from 2.20% to 2.40% per annum. Next, eligibility and requirements. For eligibility, the age of applicant of Vehicle Financing I must be between 18 until 60 years old, a Malaysian citizen and a fixed income earner. Meanwhile, for Grade 1, the age of applicant must be between 20 until 30 years old, a graduate with minimum qualification of diploma from accredited universities or higher learning institution, and status of employment shall be on permanent or contract basis for an employee, whether in government and semi-government sector, selected public listed companies, government-linked companies, GLC, or other prominent private limited companies as categorized under package companies listed by Bank Islam. Then, for required documents, it is almost same for both, except for Grade 1, there must be photocopy of scroll or transcript and employment letter of offer. Other required documents are photocopy of identity card, photocopy of valid driving license, photocopy of latest 3-month salary slip, copies of latest 3-month bank statement, and latest EPF statement or EA forms. I think that's all from me. Then, I will pass to the next member.
In a nutshell, Bank Islam Malaysia Berhad offers vehicle financing services to help individuals and businesses purchase vehicles. However, in the modern landscape of the global banking sector where competition is fierce and technology is developing rapidly, Bank Islam face challenges to compete with other financial institutions. To excel in this environment, Bank Islam must find ways to differentiate themselves and gain a competitive advantage.
So I recommend to you all to take the vehicle financing from Bank Islam in future if you want to buy a car or any vehicle. It is because Bank Islam provide a lot of benefit. For example, Bank Islam offer competitive rate, no hidden or extra charges, IBRA on full statement. IBRA here refer to the rebate. IBRA here is a rebate that a bank give to the customer because they settle the payment early. And last but not least is the fast approval.